So Multiversus finally released, and with it came two new characters, the Iron Giant and LeBron James. But everybody has been playing them wrong. And you know what? Who can blame them? There's no definitive guide to shepherd people to success with these characters. No angry Italian man with the voice of Robin from Teen Titans to set them on the proper course. Well, with the absolutely random and incomprehensible success of my last character breakdown, I figured I ought to help you guys understand these characters too. Now, while with that last video I had a strong understanding of pretty much all of the properties, Game of Thrones, DC Comics, Steven Universe, etc., this time I have almost no idea who these two characters are. I haven't seen the Iron Giant, and I hate sports. Now, at first I thought this would be an issue, but then I realized that this isn't LeBron James from the NBA. This is LeBron James from Space Jam: A New Legacy. So I don't need to know 18 years of basketball trivia and the life and trials of a real human man. This LeBron James is an entirely fictional character. I just need to know the lore of Space Jam. He even says his famous Space Jam catchphrase.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I'm LeBron James. And as for the Iron Giant, well, we'll figure that one out when we get to it. LeBron James transforms Multiversus from a fighting game into a role-playing one. With LeBron, you play the role of the absolute Giga Chad you could only dream of one day becoming. You like that, Shaggy? Huh? Take it! Take it! And your opponent plays the role of you in 8th grade. Stop it! Please! I just wanna get to class! Even though LeBron carries a basketball, which would make you think that he's more of a ranged character, he's actually a bruiser with some incredibly aggressive rushdown. Now I could get into his frame data and cooldowns and all of that, but I'm afraid that if I get too much in all of that nerd shit, LeBron's gonna reach through my monitor and steal my lunch money. Every move this guy makes is another way to flex on his opponent. Okay, LeBron doesn't give a fuck. Everybody's battling in the corner and LeBron's like, fuck you, I got shoes to tie. Who needs teabagging when you can literally dunk on your opponent? Half the time you'll be beating your opponent into a warm, ceaseless coma, and the other half you'll be proving why their girlfriend chose the wrong man. Ooh, look at me go, Shaggy, you think Velma's gonna even fucking look at you after this? And if you start losing, you could just get so fucking angry. What the fuck are you talking about, ref? I was clearly in bounds. LeBron's passive allows his allies to catch his balls. Maybe I should rephrase that. LeBron's passive allows his allies to catch his basketballs and throw them as projectiles. LeBron's neutral special is buckets. Very hip, guys. LeBron tosses a basketball in front or behind him and embarrasses the opponent in front of the entire school. Please! If LeBron doesn't have a ball, he'll summon one out of thin air like the Norse god of balls that he is, putting the move on cooldown. LeBron's forward special dunks the ball into the ground so fucking forcefully that it atomizes the ball and applies a weakened debuff to any dork caught in its path. But don't worry, player 2, LeBron's nothing if not a team player. If his ally throws one of his basketballs, LeBron will teleport to its location, crashing down with the force of a hurricane, shoving its way through the entrance of a hurricane convention. If LeBron doesn't have a ball, his side special becomes a shoulder charge. LeBron's up special shoots his basketball upwards, hitting his opponent, hitting his opponent, hitting his opponent. The fuck, LeBron? You're the one that's good at basketball. I can't do all the work here. Hitting his opponent in an arc formation. When he doesn't have a ball, he throws a handful of his favorite magical white powder into the air. I'm talking about chalk, you bunch of animals. LeBron's down special bounces the ball into the air, which damages foes and can be caught by either him or his ally. Without a ball, LeBron throws up a big fence. You get it? That blocks incoming projectiles. Now, when LeBron has the ball, it's a good time. Look at how happy he is, dribbling away, doing tricks, dunking on nerds. But without the ball, LeBron is pissed. What the fuck? Every one of LeBron's attacks goes from a cool basketball juke to an outright temper tantrum when he loses the ball. So, obviously, you want to keep the ball for as long as you can. LeBron James is an amazing showcase of these developers' creativity. You hear that LeBron James is going to be in a fighting game and you immediately roll your eyes. Ugh, what a lame cash grab. How are they gonna make a basketball player fun? What is he gonna dribble? And like, yeah, he dribbles, but he's also a lot of fun. It's sort of like a cool mini-game having to keep track of who has the ball at any given time. And it's so visually satisfying to get a sweet combo off that ends with you scoring a grand slam over your opponent. That's the right sport, right? Just like Tom and Jerry before him, these developers have proven that they can take what should be a relatively bland character and tune them to their fullest potential. Now, onto the Iron... Ah! Jesus Christ! Hey guy, big enough? Look, even Shaggy's standing here like, I gotta fight this guy? But you know what? The Iron Giant's a pacifist. Just because he's big doesn't mean we should be intimidated by him. Shaggy, was nice knowing you. The Iron Giant is an absolute force of nature. He's a menace with the ability to dominate the screen with his size alone. All of his moves feel weighty and crunchy, and it's so satisfying to rock your opponents with demolished cars and jet fuel. And you know what? It's nice to see him in this game. You know, he finally gets to meet his idol, Superman. After a lifetime of suffering, it's nice to see him get this small bit of resolution. Iron Giant's passive is, What is Riot designing these characters now? What's with the fucking paragraphs? Okay, passive number 1. Hope you guys are taking notes. Iron Giant can't double jump, but he can fly, which consumes fuel from a little meter. This is good for getting him out of sticky situations, as well as sacrificing himself to save the town. Passive number 2. Iron Giant can eat scrap to acquire bolts, which we'll get into later. Passive 3. Iron Giant grants thorns to himself and any ally that receives gray health. Enemies take damage whenever they deal damage to thorn users. Passive number 4. Iron Giant fills up a rage meter by attacking enemies. Once his rage meter is filled, you can press Y to save friends, which is a button that should say press Y to murder enemies because it turns the Iron Giant into an absolute fucking death machine. This gives him a new set of attacks, and allies can pilot the Iron Giant like best friends. I didn't have any, so Bot Shaggy'll have to do. Shaggy, get in! Shaggy, get in! Finally, allies can stand on Iron Giant's shoulders when he wall clings, using him as a platform. Again, Bot Shaggy. Getting into his moves, Iron Giant's neutral special summons an electric field of bolts around him. Each bolt acts as armor and grants his allies gray health based on the number of bolts he consumed. With his side special, Iron Giant channels your annoying younger brother and grabs you, doing whatever the fuck he wants to you afterwards. He can throw you, set you up for a down special, walk you off a ledge. Who cares? Who's gonna tell this thing he's gotta play by the rules? In the air, Iron Giant will consume fuel to shoot forward with a rocket-propelled shoulder charge. His up special swings a car around him that blocks projectiles and damages anyone caught in its path. Because it's a fucking car. Walking forwards or backwards will thankfully angle the car downwards because who the fuck is getting hit up here? His down special has him jump into the air and cannonball towards the ground, turning him into a cannonball, which is just pretty fucking awesome. I don't really have a joke, it's just, it just feels so good. You can hold down the button to aim with this marker, which only makes you feel like more of a living nuke.
Tactical nuke incoming!
But we aren't done yet because the Iron Giant just doesn't stop doing things. His up basic attack throws a hunk of garbage that damages foes and can be consumed for bolts. His down attack spawns metallic art that can also be consumed for bolts. Except for when you're in the air. When you're in the air, the peaceful, lovable giant uses his rocket boots to incinerate everything in a 10-mile radius. Now, onto his entire other moveset, Rage Mode. In Rage Mode, Iron Giant's neutral special is the same. Thank God. His side special fires an energy orb that stuns and damages enemies. His up special summons an electrical spike that shoots out of the top of his body. So an anti-air. And finally, his down special fires a downward laser that zaps enemies. He can fire rockets with his up basic and shoot lasers with his side basic. Like I said, the Iron Giant is an absolute tank. Sometimes literally. And so whether you're incinerating your foes or walking them off ledges, you're sure to be having a good time with this power trip. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and comment what other games you want to see me explain. I really like doing these videos and it seems like you guys do too, so let me know what other character-based games you want to see me break down. Also, if you're into anime, make sure you check out my Let Me Explain series on Black Clover, Fire Force, and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the same mix of comedy and analysis you find here, but in entire arcs of different anime. And if you're a Pokemon fan and like seeing me break down different characters, make sure you check out my very uncomfortably specific Pokemon Smasher Pass video. I think that one turned out super funny, like nobody saw it. Go check that out if you like this kind of humor, but for the first 150 Pokemon. Like I said, I really like making these kinds of videos, so I may try doing some more with like Apex Legends or League of Legends or some other Legends-based video game. So let me know in the comments which ones you'd like to see. And I will see you next time.
Call me back, 'cause I would like to talk about the